Good evening and welcome to the May, 19th, 2015 City of San Bruno Planning Commission meeting. Roll call, please.
Chair Johnson is absent this evening. Vice Chair Chase.
Here.
Commissioner Biasotti.
Here.
Commissioner Mishra is not here this evening.
Excuse me, yeah, he is. He just walked in.
Commissioner Peterson.
Here.
Commissioner Samad.
Here.
And Commissioner Mishra.
Here.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay. Commissioner Biasotti, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Of course. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Next item is approval of minutes of the April 21st, 2015 meeting.
Through the chair,
Yes,
I
Commissioner
move the
Peterson.
minutes be approved.
There's a motion. Did I hear a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Very good, aye. Those pass. Communication?
There are no additional communications this evening.
Thank you. All right, at this time I will open it up to public comment on items that are not on the agenda. If anybody from the public wishes to speak on something that is not on the agenda, please step to the podium. And everybody's rushing up there, so I will close it. Comment is closed on that. Announcement of conflict of interest. Do any commissioners have a conflict? Seeing none? Okay, we will move on. Public hearing. This is item 5A, and it's a what do we got here? Request for a use permit to exceed the maximum permitted floor area allowed of 3,686 square feet. A use permit to exceed the 35% lot coverage requirement, 36%, and a use permit to exceed the maximum allowed garage size of 600 square feet, according to sections 12-230A1, 12-230A2, 12-280B, respectively, of the San Bruno Municipal Code. Staff report, please.
Vice Chair Chase, our Associate Planner, Paula Bradley, will make the presentation this evening, and so she'll set up the PowerPoint and go through that presentation for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening, Planning Commission. I'm Paula Bradley, the project planner. And I have a PowerPoint presentation. And this is a request for a use permit to exceed the maximum permitted floor area allowed of 3,686 square feet. A use permit to exceed the 35% lot coverage requirement, and a use permit to exceed the maximum allowed garage size of 600 square feet at 3189 Moreland Drive. Okay. And this is where the project is located, and you see 3189 Moreland Drive in the center. And Skyline Drive is to the right of the site, hidden somewhat in the trees. And across the street on Moreland Drive, there's a grove of eucalyptus trees. And the street to the west of the site is Longview Drive. The project is in a 5-lot subdivision of similarly sized homes. And this is a vacant lot, and it's steeply sloped. 35% is the average slope. So as you might see, it slopes back from Moreland Drive towards Skyline Drive. And the grove of eucalyptus trees is partially on the applicant, the subject property, as well as on the right-of-way for the highway, Skyline Boulevard. The lot is 14,577 square feet. It's a lot. large lot size, but several of the lots in that 5-lot subdivision are similar in size. The applicant's proposing the home on 2 levels, including a 707 square foot garage. The entry of the home is on the street, Moreland Drive. It appears as a 1-story home. So this is the site plan. In the front of the site, it includes on Moreland Drive a 3-foot fence that's going to be wood and stucco posts. Behind that, as you enter the property, they're proposing a special pavers driveway, and to the right, there's a front entry sidewalk with different pavers, so those will look different. The garage door is side loading, so that's to the left of the driveway, and that will minimize the prominence of the garage from the street. With the orientation, you won't really see the garage doors. The roof facing Moreland Drive has a hip roof form with cross gable roofs on the sides and rear. Courtesy notices and legal notices were sent to the property owners within 300 feet, and staff has not received any comment from the public. The project was reviewed at the Architecture Review Committee on April 16th, and the Architectural Review Committee forwarded the project to the Planning Commission with minor recommendations. Since the Architectural Review meeting, the applicant addressed the items that were recommended, and since then has proposed a different deck railing, a glass railing instead of what was originally proposed, but was discussed at the ARC. And also, since that meeting, the applicant has changed the garage door, and it's a wood garage door. It's still a 2-car garage, and there's a small door on the side of it. The elevation. So the front is in the lower right, and that would be the view from the street. It appears a 1-story building. And then above that would be the rear elevation, and that would be hidden. That would be the view from Skyline, but it won't really be visible, as it will be screened with the eucalyptus trees. And so the lower level, the first floor, is partially built into the hillside. And this would be the side elevations. So you see the side elevation on the east side. You can actually see the 3 garage type doors. So there's the 2 doors with the horizontal lights at the top, and those doors are wood. And then to the right, there's a smaller door, which is for storage, and would have room to store a motorcycle, and the recycling, all the bins would be in that area. And then the west elevation, you see the deck and the railings, and those would be the glass panels. There's a 2nd floor deck that you can see, and then also below that, there's a smaller 1st floor deck below that. The proposed project meets the setback and height requirements of the zoning district, and although the proposed floor area and lot coverage exceed the maximum allowed without the approval of a use permit, they are similar to the floor area and lot coverage of the adjacent properties in the subdivision, and the homes in the neighborhood are generally large 2-story homes. In the rear of the property, there's a 15-foot tree preservation easement, so no trees are proposed to be removed, but they would be restricted from being removed in that easement. And we have floor plans if there's any questions, and this is the landscape plan. 31% of the site is landscape, so even with the exceeding the lot coverage, there's still quite a bit of area for landscaping and open space. And these are the colors and materials. The exterior colors and materials of the second floor body of the home are a combination of light gray stucco. The ground floor or first floor, which is a little hard to see through the trees, is a dark gray. The windows are they're a dark gray trim, a charcoal gray, and in the photo you can see the glass deck railings. To the right, upper right, you see the front interior front walls proposed, and then the below right you'll see the 3-foot high horizontal wood slat fence with the 3-foot high posts, and then the colors that would be used for this home are shown in the lower left-hand corner. There's an example of the pavers that would be used for the driveway, a little better picture of what the garage door would look like. And the colors, all the wood color is very similar. It's a cedar wood color. And then also proposed is the tile, the curved tile charcoal gray for the roof. Staff finds that the proposed residence is consistent with the residential design guidelines and is compatible with the character and design of the surrounding single-family dwellings. The design minimizes the bulk and mass of the home and will appear as a one-story home from the street. And the design includes a defined front entry in proportionate scale to the residence and neighboring homes. The proposed roof form is considered compatible with the neighborhood. And the garage door with the side-loading garage door serves to reduce the prominence of garage doors on the front of the home. The second floor treatment incorporates articulation to decrease the mass and bulk, including step-back elevations, varied roof forms, windows, and second floor decks. And both the sides and rear of the elevation walls are broken up by offsets and a horizontal roof separating the 2 stories. That concludes, staff would like to recommend that the Planning Commission approve the use permit based on the findings of fact 1 through 6 and the standard conditions of approval 1 through 37. And that concludes my presentation, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Paula. Do the commissioners have any questions? No? Okay, seeing none. Is the applicant present? Yes. Would you mind stepping up to the podium, just kind of giving us a brief explanation, or did I jump the gun?
That would be excellent, Vice Chair Chase. And in addition, I think the applicant has a presentation that they would like to provide by way of their computer as well. So they have a computer-aided presentation that they'll be presenting to you tonight.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Ben. I'm the applicant with my wife trying to build this home for our own stay in the city of San Bruno. So if you can take a look at the model that we generated, this is a 3D model for the home with a better articulations on the mass of the home. With a lot of the communication between the city staff and ourselves, we have changed the mass of the building substantially to lower the level from the street. And so that's where we are planning to have our the front the curb appeal to be a lengthy curb appeal in the front. For this home, I think my family and I, we have 2 kids, a young family, and we are still expanding or to grow with this house. And also, fortunately, our parents, both our in-laws and my parents are still alive, and we are definitely hoping to invite them in options for them to come and live with us. So one of the reasons of why we are building this home with this scale is mostly because accommodating future need of space. And also one other thing that we want to point out is I'm also one of a builder and designer for other industries, but also we are planning to integrate some 20th century green point element into this house. So we are planning to install a solar panel or recycled water treatment. So we are planning on those, and I'm hoping that we can, through the staff's help, the city's help, find ways to see if we can incorporate those elements into this house. In terms of design, I guess we are just having the private sector down below on the second level, and so most of the activities will be on the top level with living rooms and family rooms, which we can separate our private sector and the social sector up above. And that's all I have. If you have any questions, then you can ask me on it.
Thank you. It was a nice presentation. So, bringing it back to the commissioners, do we have any questions for the applicant?
Through the chair?
Commissioner
I'd like
Biassatti.
to say thank you for the 3D modeling. That's very helpful.
Okay,
I
thanks.
know there's a lot of effort for that, so thank you.
Yeah. But technology helps.
Well, thank you. It's very well
It
done.
does. Any other questions? No? Okay, I will open it up now to public. Is anybody here from the public wishing to speak on this particular item? Okay, seeing none, I will close that and bring it back to the commissioners for whatever we want to do, whatever you decide.
Through the chair.
Commissioner Smoot.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we approve use permit 15-002 based on findings of fact 1 through 6 and conditions of approval 1 through 37.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Seeing none, it passes, and there is a 10-day appeal period. Thank you very much. It was good job. Nice presentation. All right. Next on the agenda. Discussion, city staff discussion.
Commissioners, we're looking for volunteers for your next Architecture Review Committee meeting, so I would hope that 3 of you would volunteer to attend. That'll be on June 11th.
What day of the week is that?
Choice Thursday.
Thursdays, Tuesday.
Thursday. Commissioner Sammet,
I'm in.
Biassoti. One more, please.
I guess if nobody else will be able to do it, I'll.
Vice Chair Chase, thank you very much.
Through the chair, I'd like to say that I'd like to attend, but I have work on Thursday and Friday nights, but on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday I'm open. So if you ever have a meeting at that time, I'd be happy to come.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for the offer.
Okay, well, that bit is taken care of.
One more item from staff in terms of just staff discussion. We put at the dais tonight copies of an SEIR, Supplemental Environmental Impact Report, for the Navy Site and Environment Specific Plan. And as you may recall over time, the 20-acre area over off of Highway 380 near El Camino Real in the northwest quadrant there, there's been quite a bit of development, and actually the footprint area for a proposed 500-room hotel has been reduced due to other development that's occurred in that area, such that realistically the size of a future hotel probably would only be about 150 rooms or so. So there's been a need to look at the specific plan and amend the Navy Site and Environment Specific Plan to address the reduced size for a hotel at that location. Staff has been working with ESA, an environmental consulting firm, to prepare this supplemental environmental impact report. That report has been completed. The public review draft was put out on the 18th, yesterday, for a 45-day review period. That review period ends on July 2nd. So I provided each of you a copy of that report. I would encourage you to review it. Our long-range planning manager, Mark Sullivan, is the key contact on this. If you have any questions or any comments on this supplemental environmental impact report, please refer those to Mark Sullivan directly. I provided a copy of the notice with the document with his contact information. And the next steps would be as follows. Basically, at the end of the comment period, the 45-day comment period, we would assemble all comments. So we are the lead agency. The City of San Bruno is the lead agency. We have put this document on our website. We've sent out notices to a variety of agencies and individuals that have indicated an interest in this project area. We'll receive comments during this comment period. We'll prepare written responses to those comments, and those responses together with this draft will constitute a final EIR, as I think many of you are familiar with. And a next step would be to prepare that final EIR and then come back to the Planning Commission at a formal public hearing to consider the specific plan amendment. And that amendment essentially is to look at a reduced project area and a reduced project from 500 rooms down to about 152 rooms for a future hotel at that location. And in this SEIR, you'll notice that one additional impact, potentially significant impact, was identified having to do with air quality. And there are, as you'll see, mitigation measures to address that. This is a supplemental EIR. The initial EIR for this site was certified by the City of San Bruno in 2001. So at that time, and with 2 amendments to that document, all previous potentially significant impacts that were identified were addressed with mitigation measures to reduce those impacts to less than significant. So what you'll see there as you review the document is that this document builds upon that previous certified EIR from 2001, and its conclusion is basically that with those mitigation measures from 2001 and with the analysis here and the additional mitigation measures, we wouldn't expect that the reduced size and reduced project would result in any significant impacts. So please review the document. If you have any questions or comments, refer those to Mark Sullivan at the contact information provided. We'll respond to all written comments in a written form, prepare the final EIR, and then come back to this body with the specific plan amendment and the final EIR for consideration. At a future public hearing, you'll be asked to make a formal recommendation to the City Council, and then the City Council would take a final action on the specific plan amendment, the reduced project area, and the EIR. So that's before you tonight. If you have any questions now, I'd be happy to respond. Otherwise, please review the document and provide your comments to Mark Sullivan.
Thank you, Dave. Any questions? Okay, I'll bring it back then, and Planning Commission discussion. Anything need to be discussed? Bothering anybody? Loving it? No? Well, seeing none, I'll close that, and this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.